you recommend sunscreen, especially after cosmetic procedures on the face. Why is that?
It can lead to skin cancer.
Okay. Does it also block out the helpful parts of the sun?
Yes, you are absolutely right.
अगर SPF इतना अच्छा होता है, then why doesn't everybody just use SPF 100 and just get it over with?
The collagen and elastin, and in that way you can have the early signs of aging on the skin.
What is the best sunscreen on the market?
So in that we need to understand that we need to cut down the oxidants in the diet and the products.
For the people just joining us, with me is Dr.Preeti Saraswat, the lead product developer of Twachaa by Saraswat, and also the mastermind behind our whole brand. So, Dr. Preeti, how was your day today?
Yeah, it was fine. Thank you.
And I would just like to add that today's podcast is all about sunscreen. Everything you could possibly want to know about sunscreen, you will find it out today. So watch till the end and don't miss out. We also have a special coupon code for those of you who stick till the end. So let's start. How was your day? What did you do?
So I saw a patient in my OPD and did a few procedures. Thanks for asking.
I remember that कुछ दिन पहले there was a laser procedure going on here, and after that you were telling me about how you recommend sunscreen, especially after cosmetic procedures on the face. Why is that?
So sunscreen, as the name itself suggests, it is a screen between your skin and the sun. So this sunscreen is very important after almost every skin procedure.
Why is that? What does sunscreen actually do?
So sunscreens, when you apply them on the skin, they shield your skin from the sun. So when the sun rays fall on your skin, either they are reflected back or they are absorbed. So in a sunscreen, there are two parts. One is a physical sunscreen and the other is chemical sunscreen. Mostly the sunscreen are made up of both of them together. So in a physical sunscreen, which is mainly zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, it reflects the sun rays. And the chemical part, it absorbs the sun rays. So together, and when they are tinted also, so you get protection from visible light also.
Okay, but does it also block out the helpful parts of the sun? Like people usually tan for vitamin D, and sunlight is in general a very useful thing for human.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Sunlight is essential for human beings. So we were supposed to be growing outdoors. We are, as a human race, we need to go in the sun and we need to absorb the sunlight. But there is a catch in this. You see, in the early hours of the morning and the late hours of the evening, the UV rays are not so intense.
Okay.
So, अगर आप धूप में नहीं जाते हो तो आपको बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम होने लगता है. So you see the seasonal mood changes which occur during the winters. Then the vitamin D deficiency, which is becoming so common, especially post-COVID, because we stayed indoors for such a long time that vitamin D हमारा sun की वजह से बनना बहुत कम हो गया. So due to this staying indoors, the vitamin D manufacturing in our skin has gone down so much that we need to take the supplement. So not only vitamin D, but हमारा moods, हमारा metabolism. So all this is so much dependent upon sun, upon light, our hormonal system, the hormones which make us happy. So all of that is connected with light and sun.
I'm glad you talked about things which make humans happy, because something which makes people, especially the female population, very happy is to have a beautiful skin. So this leads to my next question actually. Can sunscreen help in improving the skin texture and skin health?
So, as we were talking just now, that sun can damage your skin in the when the UV rays are more, and it can harm your skin. So, usually we tell the patients that between 10 to 4, the sun rays have maximum UV light. So, if the UV ray protection is given to the skin in the form of sunscreen, then definitely your skin damage will be reduced. So, this when the skin damage is not there and you're eating well, you are applying the right products and the good nutrition you are having, good hydration, your skin is definitely going to improve.
So, you all might have heard that there is a myth going around, a very common myth that sunscreen can actually prevent skin cancer. So, today we will ask Dr. Preeti and find out if that is actually true or if that is partially true. What are your opinions on that?
It's not a myth. Sunscreens are helpful in preventing skin cancers. So, you see, skin cancers are of three types: the basal cells, squamous cell, and melanomas. So, of them, the major problem due to which the major causative agent of skin cancer is UV rays. So, if you prevent the harmful UV rays, then you prevent the cancer up to quite an extent. See, if you try to understand, when the sun rays fall on the skin, what they do, they try to damage the nuclear structure of the cells. So, if that happens, then first of all, there is going to be a tanning. So, after tanning, you can have structural damage like fine lines, the texture of the skin can go bad, you can have a leathery skin, and then finally, when this thing goes over and over again and again, it can lead to skin cancer.
Okay. We can see in the sunscreen market, अलग अलग sunscreens में अलग अलग SPF होता है, like 20, 30, 50. Does that matter? Because obviously they say that more SPF blocks out sunlight, blocks out more harmful UV rays, but is there a scenario in which a person should choose the SPF based on their skin?
SPF means sun protection factor.
Okay.
So, SPF has got nothing to do with the skin type.
Okay.
SPF means, actually, it shows how much UVB protection is there. So, SPF 30 reduces the effect of UVB rays up to, say, 90%. SPF 50 reduces up to 97%. SPF 100 reduces up to 98%. So you see, the skin is protected more if you use a higher SPF. So this is for UVB radiation, which is the major cause of cancer. Yeah, sorry.
अगर SPF इतना अच्छा होता है, then why doesn't everybody just use SPF 100 and just get it over with?
So you see, SPF 100, see, sunscreen is not the only force to prevent sun damage. Right. So I'll come to this point just after I answer this question, that why not everybody uses SPF 100? So because it is not very readily available, then it is expensive, and then it is a bit, the patients are not very comfortable with it, the people, because it's a bit messy. The chemicals used in the sunscreen, they appear like whitish on the skin. People are able to find out something has been put and things like that. And above all, the difference of protection is not too high. So you see, SPF 50 is going to give me 98% protection already, right? And SPF 100 will give me 99. So
negligible difference.
Yes, that's it. See, and
you were going to come back to the point that sunscreen is not the only way to prevent damage.
Yes. So, in order to prevent skin damage, we should rely upon other things also other than sunscreen. So, one thing is full baju ke kapde.
Sure.
So long sleeved shirts, full pants, then wide brimmed hat and sunglasses. Those sunglasses, especially which can cover your lateral parts also.
Okay.
And the cloth which you are using, suppose somebody is using cloth on the face also, or you are using full sleeves. So the cloth should be preferably cotton cloths and a bit thicker, so that if you put the cloth in front of light, you're not able to see through it. In that case, you will be assured that okay, this is protecting me from the sun, and it should not be very loose and flowing. It should be preferably skin hugging and thick white cotton cloth. Then you'll be protected.
Okay. So we have talked a lot about how UVB rays can be stopped by the SPF factor in our sunscreen. Are UVA rays similar?
Yes, so UVA rays are similar, but they are also harmful and they get inside the skin and damage. But in order to find out how much your sunscreen is beneficial against UVA, you need to see the PA plus sign.
Acha.
So if you see your sunscreen label, everybody wants to see the SPF, but I think all of us should see for the PA sign also. If there is one plus, it is not as effective as the 4 plus. So the 4 plus is up to 90% effective, and it should be the choice. So the next sunscreen you are going to buy, see for SPF along with PA.
The Twachaa by Saraswat sunscreen that we both have made in collaboration, we have designed it in a way that it can be used up to 2 to 3 times per day. And it can be used 2 to 3 times per day without adversely affecting the skin health of the user. But there are some other sunscreens on the market which claim to be very ferocious against sun damage, but naturally they are also very, very bad for our skin. How does someone know how much they should apply a sunscreen, and how does someone know if their sunscreen is actually even working? Because for someone like my complexion, I have a kind of an olive complexion. If I put sunscreen, if I don't put sunscreen, I don't know in the first few weeks. I have to see it for a long time. How would you recommend people to tackle that?
So first of all, we understand when the sun goes against us. So if I go out in the sun and I feel my skin is turning red, or I feel there is some itching in my skin when I'm in the sun, it means the sunlight is not suiting me. I should immediately go to the shade and I should talk to my doctor. So when people come to me and ask for a suggestion for sunscreen, then there are, as you said, there are certain chemicals in sunscreen which are told by US FDA, which are not good for the skin, and there are certain which are okay for the skin. They can be applied, so you can get that list. But for the normal people, a sunscreen, which sunscreen is best for me? That sunscreen which I like to apply every time, that is best for me, because my skin is not sensitive to it. I do not feel the wrath of sun when I'm in the sun using that sunscreen. And when I reapply that sunscreen, I don't feel the stickiness, any whitish layer on my skin, and I feel good about it. So when I have such a sunscreen, or I am given such a sunscreen by some prescription, I need to apply that.
So the people at home, obviously I want to say Twachaa by Saraswat as the answer, but what is the best sunscreen on the market, and how can someone find out the ingredients that they should be looking for?
So the best sunscreen, as just now I pointed out, the best sunscreen for you is any sunscreen which you would like to repeat again and again without feeling any stickiness, any redness, any allergy, any dane or whatever. So when somebody prescribes you a sunscreen and you start using it and you go out in the sun and you are fine, you don't have any redness and you can reapply, that is the best sunscreen for you. Now, as far as the ingredients are concerned, the physical ingredients, they are very non-reacting. So you should always look for zinc oxide and titanium dioxide in the cream-based, gel-based sunscreens. And I would say the cream and gel based sunscreen, cream for the drier skin and natural skin types, and gel based, which are non oily, for the comedogenic oily skin types. We should slightly refrain from using the sprays or the powder sunscreens, because people tend to inhale, especially children. It is very common amongst mothers to keep a spray for their child, but then the child may inhale, which is not good. And for the same reason, we need to apply the lotion or the cream or the gel, and then it goes fine.
Apart from sunscreens, and what are some other things and other methods that people can use? And you also mentioned wearing long sleeve clothing. Apart from those two methods, what else can be used to protect the skin against UV rays?
So, as I just now told you, the long sleeve clothes, the hats with a rim, sunglasses, and then you need to be properly hydrated, and you need to see those things which damage your skin along with the UV rays. So, in that, we need to understand that we need to cut down the oxidants in the diet and the products. So, if I give you an idea regarding that, we should understand that we should decrease the glycation of skin. So it means the structure of the skin should be nice and supple if we have good collagen and good elastin. But suppose we eat a lot of sugar and a lot of hydrogenated oils, and then gluten and processed dairy. So all this leads to glycation of the skin structures, the collagen and elastin. And in that way, you can have the early signs of aging on the skin along with the UV rays. So it leads to premature aging of skin, and the skin looks damaged.
The last thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, does your skin type affect the sunscreen that you will use? Like, for example, some people have dry skin, some have oily, some just have a normal skin type.
Yes.
Does that affect the skin?
So we should choose the sunscreen according to the skin type in a way that the normal and dry skin, frankly, you can apply any sunscreen on that. So the cream based, gel based, everything is good. But for the oily and comedogenic skin type, if you apply the cream base, maybe the whole acne, they start erupting, or they feel itched and allergy to that. So we need to have a gel-based sunscreen, which is non-comedogenic, non-oily, and the skin, because of the irritability which is present with the acne-prone skin and the oily skin, and as well as the sensitive skin, we need to use the calmer version. So that is mainly the physical sunscreen type, the zinc oxide. So if you have a normal skin, you have a whole option. If you have oily or sensitive skin, you need to look for gels which are non-oily and the physical form of sunscreen.
So that was our first podcast, Twachaa by Saraswat's first podcast. I am glad that you could be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you liked, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this podcast with all your friends who hate the sun as much as you do. The coupon code for this week is PODCAST podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.